We're always hearing about the risks of AI, right? Rogue robots, biased algorithms, the usual stuff. But what if the biggest danger isn't that AI is failing? What if the real problem is that it's succeeding way too well, way too fast? Well, that's the whole idea behind a piece from Icarus' career called The Missing Layer. And it points to a massive crisis that's quietly unfolding inside companies as we speak. And boom, there it is. This quote really flips the script, doesn't it? The problem isn't that our AI projects are fizzling out. Nope. The real hidden danger is that they're taking off like a rocket, and we've completely lost the steering wheel. So where does this uncontrolled success actually show up? Well, the source gives it a fantastic name, Agent Sprawl. And believe me, this is the quiet, creeping problem that's at the very heart of this whole thing. So what exactly is Agent Sprawl? Well, as you can see, it's this quiet, uncontrolled explosion of all these little automation agents. Just think of them as tiny, autonomous workers. They're popping up absolutely everywhere, with no central plan, no oversight. And because nobody's watching the big picture, they're creating all these hidden risks that are just waiting to blow up. And let's be clear, this isn't some sci-fi future we're talking about. It is happening right now. HR's got agents screening candidates. Finance has them chewing through cash flow data. Marketing, product, infrastructure, you name a department, and they're probably spinning up their own agents. And here's the crucial part. Nobody is talking to each other. It's a complete free-for-all. Okay, so what's the big deal? We've got safeguards and processes for new technology, right? Well, this is where it gets kind of scary. The source argues that these AI agents are shattering three of our most fundamental safeguards, the very systems we've always relied on to keep our software from going off the rails. Just take a look at this comparison. With traditional software, over there on the left, everything is locked down. Code gets reviewed, changes have to be approved, deployments are controlled. But now, look at the world of AI agents on the right. It's the Wild West. A single person can write a simple prompt, hook it up to sensitive systems, and set it loose with basically zero oversight. You change one sentence in that prompt, and you could accidentally cause a massive data leak. It's that fragile. So, the second broken safeguard? It's that these agents, they don't work in isolation. Oh no, they form networks. They call each other, they share data, they build on what other agents are doing. This creates something called emergent behavior. Basically, the network as a whole starts doing things that no single person ever designed or intended, which leads to a really chilling question. Who's making sure your finance agent isn't accidentally leaking sensitive payroll data to the new marketing agent? The answer, way too often, is nobody. And the third and final broken safeguard is monitoring. Look, we are fantastic at monitoring servers. We've got dashboards, alerts. If a server breaks, alarms go off everywhere. But how do you monitor the health of an AI agent? How can you tell if it's started to drift away from its original purpose? Or worse, if it's started hallucinating and just making things up? There are no clear crash signals. It can fail silently, and not a single alarm bell will ring. And this quote, wow, it just nails it. The agent doesn't give you a nice, clean error message. It doesn't crash. It just becomes wrong. And it does it at an incredible scale. It keeps running, making thousands of flawed decisions a minute, spreading that error through your entire system like a virus. It's a silent failure, moving at machine speed. So when one of these agents inevitably does become wrong at scale and causes some real serious damage, what happens then? Well, that's when you run smack into what the source calls the accountability black hole. And this is the question that every single leader out there really needs to be asking themselves. If an autonomous system on your watch loses millions of dollars or leaks all your customer data, who is actually responsible? Who takes the fall? I mean, think about it. Do you blame the developer who wrote the initial prompt? What about the engineer who gave it the API keys to access the data? Or the manager who approved the project in the first place? Our old ways of finding a single point of failure just completely fall apart here. The lines of responsibility are a total mess. And this gets right to the core of the problem. Agents have no ethics, and they never will. They are just incredibly powerful optimization machines. You tell one to cut costs, it'll start sacrificing quality without a second thought. You tell it to be fast, it'll ignore every safety protocol you have. Agents don't have a conscience. That conscience has to come from us, from the outside. Okay, so if our old safeguards are totally broken and accountability is a black hole, what in the world are we supposed to do? Well, this is where the source introduces its big idea. We have to build a brand new structure for governance. We need to build the missing layer. The first part of this missing layer is all about people. It's about creating what are called human sentinels. This means we need explicit accountability, real roles, not just tossing it over to some random department. We need a formal approval process before any agent gets deployed. We have to define clear boundaries for what they can and can't do. And we need to classify them based on how risky they are. Now, the second part is where it gets really cool. We use AI to govern AI. We create agent sentinels, basically meta agents whose only job is to monitor all the other agents. They track for weird behavior, they automatically enforce the rules, and this is the most important part, they have the power to quarantine or even kill a rogue agent before it does any real damage, and then escalate the issue to their human partners. So when you combine these two things, the human sentinels and the agent sentinels, you can finally start to move from the utter chaos of agent sprawl to a state of actual control. But it's going to require a really fundamental shift in how we even think about this technology.
This right here is probably the most important takeaway of all. AI agents are not tools. They are not just fancy spreadsheets. They are actors. They are autonomous agents making decisions inside your organization. And just like any other actor, like an employee or a contractor, they need rules, they need oversight, and they need to be managed. The companies that are going to win in this new AI era won't just be the ones with the most agents. They'll be the ones with the best governance. They'll be the ones who are already doing everything on this list, creating agent registries, setting up review boards, implementing guardrails, and of course, deploying that critical system of human and agent sentinels. And that all brings us to this final and frankly pretty powerful quote. AI transformation without governance is not innovation, it's deferred chaos. It's just kicking a very, very dangerous can down the road. And the question for every single organization out there is no longer if this is going to become a problem, but when.